Have you ever felt overwhelmed by trying to control everything around you, forcing life to fit a mold that it just doesn't seem to fit? The pressure to make everything work perfectly, whether it's your job, relationships, or personal goals, can leave you exhausted and frustrated. But what if the answer isn't in forcing things to go your way, but in letting life unfold naturally? In today's video, we're going to explore Stoicism, a powerful philosophy that teaches us how to find peace, happiness, and meaning without the need to force or control everything. You'll learn practical techniques to embrace life as it comes and live more mindfully in the present moment. If you enjoy this content, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos on how to live a fuller, more peaceful life. Now, let's begin your journey to inner peace. Key point 1. Live fully in the present. Imagine standing in a garden at dawn, the sky just beginning to blush with the soft hues of a new day. The cool air brushes your skin, and the sound of birds singing fills the stillness. For a brief moment, everything feels perfect, as if time itself has paused just for you. Yet, how often do we miss these moments? How often do we let our minds race toward the future, endlessly replaying past mistakes, while the beauty of the present slips quietly through our fingers like sand? One of the fundamental teachings of Stoicism is the reminder to live fully in the present. Life is not something that exists in some distant future or in the echo of yesterday's memories. It is happening right here, right now. Yet, so much of our suffering comes from being caught in the tug-of-war between what could happen and what has happened. We become prisoners of anxiety, replaying old conversations in our heads, or imagining a dozen what-ifs about the future. Think of your mind as a room. When you clutter it with worries about tomorrow or regrets from yesterday, there's no space left for today. But when you clear that mental clutter, you create room for life's small, tender moments. The warmth of a loved one's hand in yours, the taste of your morning coffee, the peaceful rhythm of your own breathing. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius reminds us of the fleeting nature of time. Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good. Time is finite, and each moment is precious beyond measure. The present moment, the one you are living right now, is a gift, yet it is so often taken for granted. The more we allow ourselves to be fully present, the more we can savor life's simple pleasures, like the warmth of sunlight on our face, or the joy of a sincere conversation with a friend. Actionable tip. Begin by practicing mindfulness. Carve out a few moments each day to simply be. Sit quietly, let the noise of the day fade away, and focus on your breath. Feel your air as it enters your lungs and leaves again. Ground yourself in the present moment. Ask yourself, what is happening right now? How can I enjoy this moment to the fullest? Take these moments slowly, noticing the small details around you, the rustle of leaves in the wind, the softness of the fabric on your skin, the steady beat of your heart. These are the moments we often overlook, yet they hold the deepest peace, the richest happiness. When we learn to live fully in the present, life begins to feel less like a race and more like a dance, where each step, no matter how small, is filled with meaning. Key point 2. Understand the impermanence of life. Picture yourself walking through a forest in autumn. The once vibrant green leaves have turned gold and crimson, and now they fall gently to the ground, forming a soft blanket beneath your feet. You can feel the coolness in the air, the whisper of change all around. This moment of transition, where everything is in motion, is a reminder that nothing in life stays the same. The trees you see now will soon stand bare. waiting for the renewal of spring. This is the impermanence of life, a truth woven into every part of existence. Just like the changing of the seasons, our lives flow through cycles of growth, loss, and renewal. Friends move away, loved ones pass, emotions surge and then recede. Sometimes we cling desperately to joy, hoping it will stay forever, or we resist pain, wishing it would vanish in an instant. But both joy and sorrow are like the autumn leaves, falling and rising with the rhythm of life. Heraclitus, the ancient philosopher, captured this beautifully when he said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man." The river flows, constantly moving, constantly changing, and so do we. Every experience alters us, reshaping who we are and how we see the world. The present moment is fleeting, never to be repeated exactly the same way again. Accepting this truth can be both humbling and freeing. When we truly understand that everything is temporary, we stop gripping life so tightly. We learn to let go of the need to control every outcome, knowing that both joy and hardship are part of the flow. Impermanence teaches us that life is precious because it is brief. The moments that bring us happiness should be cherished, not held on to out of fear of losing them. And the moments of difficulty, too, should be met with grace, knowing that they will pass just as surely as the night gives way to day. Actionable tip. When you find yourself facing difficult emotions or stressful situations, take a step back and remind yourself, this too shall pass. Just as every storm eventually runs out of rain, every challenge will give way to peace. Embrace the changes, big and small as they come, and let them teach you the value of the present moment. The next time you feel joy, savor it. The next time you feel sorrow, meet it with the understanding that it is part of life's balance. Both are transient, and both have something to teach you about the beauty of living fully in each moment. When you embrace impermanence, life becomes less about resisting change and more about flowing with it, finding peace in knowing that nothing is permanent, yet everything is meaningful in its time. Key point 3. The power of acceptance. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a storm, the wind howling around you, the rain beating down. Your instinct is to fight it, to run against the wind, to shield yourself from the rain, hoping you can somehow push it all away. But no matter how much you resist, the storm rages on, indifferent to your struggle. Now imagine standing still instead. You breathe deeply, accept that the storm is beyond your control, and focus on what you can do. Seek shelter, cover yourself, or simply wait for the rain to pass. This shift from resistance to acceptance is where true inner strength lies. Acceptance is not about surrendering or giving up. It's about having the courage to face life as it is, rather than wasting energy wishing it were different. There is a deep, quiet power in acknowledging that some things are beyond our control, and instead of being swept up in frustration or anger, we can choose how we respond. When we fight against reality, we only create suffering for ourselves. But when we accept reality, we open ourselves to peace and wisdom, even in the face of difficulty. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, captures this perfectly when he says, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." It's a reminder that while life may throw chaos our way, be it unexpected setbacks, losses, or disappointments, our response to these events is where our true power lies. In every situation, no matter how hard or unfair, we have the choice to either resist or accept. Think about a time in your life when something didn't go as planned. Maybe it was a missed opportunity, a relationship that ended, or a goal that felt just out of reach. Your initial reaction might have been frustration or disappointment, an inner battle with reality. But what if, instead of struggling, you paused and accepted it? Acceptance isn't resignation. It's acknowledging the situation as it is, and then deciding how to move forward. This shift allows you to see clearly, to make better decisions, and most importantly, to let go of the emotional burden that resistance brings. The energy you once used to fight the situation can now be redirected toward what you can influence: your thoughts, your actions, and your attitude. Actionable tip. The next time life throws you a curveball, whether it's a failed plan, an unexpected challenge, or an emotional setback, pause and ask yourself, can I control this? If the answer is no, allow yourself to lean into acceptance. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but by accepting the situation as it is, you free yourself from the exhausting battle against reality. Focus on what is within your power, how you respond. Can you find a lesson in the difficulty? Can you shift your perspective or take a small action that moves you forward, even in the face of disappointment? Acceptance doesn't mean you have to like what's happening, but it allows you to meet life with grace and strength, knowing that while you can't control the storm, you can always choose how you weather it. When we embrace the power of acceptance, we stop wasting energy on the impossible and start living in harmony with life as it truly is. The world may not always bend to our will, but our minds and hearts can remain steady, resilient, and at peace. Key point 4. Learn to let go. Picture yourself standing on the edge of a cliff, gripping a heavy bag filled with stones. Each stone represents something you've been holding on to: past regrets, unresolved conflicts, expectations of how things should be. The weight is immense, dragging you down, keeping you from moving forward. Yet, despite the strain, you cling to it, afraid of what might happen if you let go. But imagine loosening your grip, one finger at a time, and letting that bag slip from your hands. As it falls away, the relief is instant. Your shoulders lift, your chest expands, and you feel a sense of freedom you haven't felt in a long time. This is the power of letting go. In life, we often hold on to things long after their purpose has passed. Maybe it's a job that once fulfilled us but now drains us, a relationship that no longer brings joy, or an expectation we've placed on ourselves that feels impossible to meet. We cling to these things, telling ourselves that we can't let them go, that doing so would mean failure, defeat, or loss. But in reality, holding on too tightly only weighs us down, creating stress, anxiety, and preventing us from fully embracing the life we have right now. Imagine gripping a hot stone in your hand. You hold it tighter, hoping that somehow your grip will ease the burning, but the pain only intensifies. Letting go is the only way to find relief, to free yourself from the harm that holding on creates. In life, the same is true. By releasing what no longer serves us, we create space. Space for peace, for joy, and for the things that truly matter. As Marcus Aurelius wisely reminds us, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When we allow ourselves to let go of what burdens us, whether it's a toxic relationship, a lingering grudge, or an unrealistic expectation, we liberate our minds and hearts. We stop carrying unnecessary weight, and suddenly, life feels lighter, more open, and filled with possibility. But letting go isn't easy. It often requires confronting uncomfortable truths about what we've been holding on to and why. It asks us to face the fear of change, the unknown, and the potential pain of releasing something we once believed we couldn't live without. Yet, when we take that step, when we let go of the stone, we find that we haven't lost anything essential. Instead, we've gained space to breathe, to grow, and to move forward with clarity and strength. Actionable tip. Take a moment today to reflect on your life. Identify one thing, whether it's a negative emotion, a toxic relationship, or an expectation that no longer serves you. It could be something small or something significant, but whatever it is, begin the process of letting it go. This doesn't mean you have to act immediately, but start by acknowledging it and imagining what life would feel like without carrying this burden. Letting go is an ongoing process. It may take time and it may require patience with yourself. But each time you release something that no longer benefits you, you'll find that your mind and heart become lighter. You'll create more room for the things that truly matter, for the moments that bring joy and peace. The journey to inner peace is not about accumulating more, but about releasing what holds you back. When you learn to let go, you step into a life that feels freer, lighter, and more aligned with who you truly are. Trust that by letting go, you are making space for something better, something more meaningful, and that the peace you seek is waiting just beyond the release. Key point 5. Practice mindfulness. Imagine yourself standing at the shore of a vast, calm ocean. The waves gently lap at your feet, their rhythm steady and unhurried. As you gaze out at the horizon, your mind quiets, each breath in sync with the rise and fall of the waves. In this moment, there is no past to dwell on, no future to worry about. There is only the peaceful sound of the ocean and the feel of your breath moving through your body. This is mindfulness, the art of being fully present, aware of the moment as it unfolds, without judgment or resistance. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to become lost in the constant chatter of our minds. We replay past conversations, analyze future scenarios, and jump from thought to thought, often without even realizing it. The result? We live in a state of constant distraction, always focused on what's next or what's behind us, but rarely on what's happening now. Mindfulness is the practice of stepping out of this mental noise and into the present moment. It's about tuning into your thoughts and emotions without being swept away by them. Imagine your mind as a clear sky, with your thoughts as passing clouds. Some clouds are light and fluffy, others are dark and heavy. But with mindfulness, instead of chasing or clinging to these clouds, you watch them drift by, letting them come and go while you remain anchored in the present. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, reminds us of our true power when he said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Mindfulness allows us to reclaim this power by shifting our attention inward, focusing not on what we cannot control, but on our own thoughts, reactions, and the present experience. Through mindfulness, we learn that we are not the storm of thoughts and emotions. We are the stillness beneath it. When you practice mindfulness, you create space between yourself and your thoughts, allowing you to respond to life with clarity and calm, instead of being dragged along by emotional reactions. It's a way of training the mind to be still, like that calm ocean, even in the face of life's waves. Actionable tip. To begin practicing mindfulness, start with a simple exercise. Set aside 5 minutes today. Find a quiet space and close your eyes. Breathe deeply, feeling the air fill your lungs, and then leave in a steady, natural rhythm. As thoughts enter your mind, because they inevitably will, acknowledge them without judgment, like noticing a bird passing by. Then, gently bring your attention back to your breath. Each time your mind wanders, guide it back, as if leading it gently by the hand. Mindfulness is not about stopping your thoughts, but learning to observe them without becoming entangled in them. With time and practice, you'll notice a greater sense of calm and presence, not just during your mindfulness exercises, but throughout your daily life. When we practice mindfulness regularly, life's stresses and anxieties no longer have such a tight grip on us. We gain the ability to step back from the noise and chaos and respond with intention, rather than reacting out of habit or emotion. By being fully present, you unlock the true strength within, your ability to choose how you experience life, moment by moment. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed, remember, you have the power to pause, breathe, and return to the present, where peace and clarity are always waiting for you. Key point 6. Use silence effectively. Imagine yourself in the heart of a forest. The trees stand tall around you, their branches gently swaying in the breeze. The world is still, except for the occasional rustling of leaves and the distant call of a bird. In this moment, there is no noise, no distractions, only the profound quiet that surrounds and fills you. As you stand there, you begin to notice something deeper, your own thoughts and emotions surfacing in this silence, like ripples on a calm pond. This is the power of silence. It's not simply the absence of sound, but the presence of something more, space for reflection, clarity, and self-understanding. In our modern world, silence is rare and often uncomfortable. We are constantly bombarded by noise, notifications, conversations, the hum of traffic, and the endless chatter of our own minds. We fill every moment with sound, avoiding silence as if it were a void to be feared. But silence is not emptiness. It is an essential pause, a retreat from the noise that overwhelms us, and a gateway to deeper insight. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, reminds us of the importance of listening more than we speak. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Silence provides us with the opportunity to truly listen, not just to others, but to ourselves. In silence, we gain the space to hear our own thoughts, to sift through the noise and find the wisdom buried beneath the surface. When you embrace silence, you create a sanctuary within your mind, a place where you can process emotions, reflect on decisions, and reconnect with your inner voice. It's in these moments of stillness that we often find the answers we've been searching for, not through frantic thinking or discussion, but through the quiet clarity that comes when we simply allow ourselves to be. Think about how often we react impulsively to situations, filling the air with words before we've even taken a moment to reflect. Silence invites us to pause, to breathe, and to approach life with greater wisdom and care. It's in these pauses that we can make thoughtful decisions, unclouded by the rush of emotions or external pressures. Actionable tip. Each day, carve out a few moments for silence. This could be during a morning walk, sitting in stillness at the end of the day, or even just taking a break from the noise of your surroundings. Use this time not to distract yourself with thoughts, but to listen to your heart, to your mind, and to the space around you. In that silence, notice what emerges. Is there a decision you've been struggling with? A feeling you've been ignoring? Allow the quiet to bring clarity and insight. Silence is where we can retreat to recharge, where we can pause and gather strength before stepping back into the world. It allows us to perceive things more clearly, unclouded by the noise and chaos of daily life. When we intentionally make space for silence, we find that our thoughts become more focused, our emotions more balanced, and our decisions more deliberate. So the next time you feel overwhelmed or unsure, don't rush to fill the space with noise or action. Instead, embrace the stillness. Trust that in silence, you will find not just calm, but clarity and wisdom. By using silence effectively, you become more attuned to yourself and the world around you, able to navigate life's challenges with a centered, peaceful mind. Key point 7. Enjoy the journey, not just the outcome. Imagine climbing a mountain, the summit high above, shrouded in mist. Each step is deliberate, your feet crunching on the gravel path, your breath steady. The wind brushes against your skin, the scent of pine lingers in the air and around you. The view shifts with every turn, sometimes revealing a stunning valley, sometimes a patch of wildflowers hidden between rocks. In moments like these, it becomes clear that the journey itself holds more beauty than the distant peak. This is the essence of enjoying the journey. In life, we often fixate so intensely on the destination, whether it's achieving a career goal, completing a project, or reaching a personal milestone, that we overlook the significance of the path we take to get there. We rush toward the end, driven by a desire for success or completion, and in doing so, we miss the small but meaningful moments along the way, the lessons, the growth, and the quiet joys that make the journey worth taking. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true fulfillment isn't found in the outcome, but in the process of striving. Seneca wisely reminds us, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Every challenge we face, every hurdle we overcome, shapes us into who we are becoming. The difficulties we encounter are not obstacles to success, but integral parts of the journey itself. It is in the effort, the persistence, and the courage to continue that we find real growth. Think about a time when you reached a goal after months or even years of hard work. How did it feel in that moment of success? While the achievement itself might have brought a sense of accomplishment, it's likely that the most profound memories come from the journey. The challenges you overcame, the skills you learned, the connections you made. It's easy to forget that the struggles and small victories along the way are just as important as the final outcome. When we focus too much on the end result, we rob ourselves of the opportunity to fully experience life as it unfolds. Life is not a series of finish lines. It is a continuous process of movement, learning, and becoming. If we allow ourselves to only find joy in the completion of things, we miss the richness of the everyday moments that make up the majority of our lives. Actionable tip: shift your mindset from being purely outcome-focused to embracing the journey. Take a moment to reflect on a goal you're working toward right now. Instead of thinking only about the end result, ask yourself, what small joys can I find in the process? Whether it's the satisfaction of learning something new, the pride in each step you take, or the beauty in a small but meaningful task, allow yourself to fully immerse in the journey. For example, if you're working on a big project, instead of fixating on its completion, appreciate the effort and creativity involved in each phase. If you're training for a marathon, enjoy the strength you feel in your body as you train, not just the anticipation of crossing the finish line. By finding joy in the process, you'll discover that life becomes more meaningful and fulfilling. You'll notice that the small, everyday tasks that seem mundane are, in fact, the building blocks of your greater journey. Each step you take, no matter how small, contributes to your growth and fulfillment. Remember, life is a journey, not a race to the finish. When you learn to appreciate the steps along the way, you realize that the true reward isn't waiting at the summit. It's with you every step of the climb. Key point 8. Find joy in simple things. Picture yourself sitting by a window on a quiet morning, the soft light of dawn just beginning to warm the sky. You're holding a steaming cup of coffee, the rich aroma rising in gentle curls. The world outside is still, and for a moment, you feel a deep sense of peace, a quiet contentment that washes over you. This is the kind of joy that doesn't come from grand achievements or material wealth, but from the simple things, the moments of stillness, connection, and appreciation that weave through our daily lives. True happiness is often far simpler than we realize. We're conditioned to believe that joy is found in the big moments, promotions, new possessions, extravagant vacations. But in reality, happiness is much more subtle. It's in the feeling of sunlight on your skin, the sound of rain tapping gently against the window, or the laughter shared with a friend over dinner. These small, seemingly ordinary moments hold the power to fill our hearts with the kind of joy that is lasting and meaningful. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, understood this well when he said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." The essence of happiness lies not in accumulating more or constantly chasing after what we don't have, but in recognizing the beauty of what is already here, within reach. It's about shifting our focus from the unattainable to the present, where life's true gifts can be found. We often rush through life, missing these moments of simple joy because we're too focused on what's next. We're so busy striving for more that we forget to savor what we already have. The smile of a loved one, the taste of a home-cooked meal, or the comfort of a quiet evening at home. But when we learn to slow down and appreciate these small moments, we unlock a wellspring of happiness that is always available to us. Actionable tip: start by taking a moment each day to appreciate a simple joy. It could be the warmth of your morning tea, the sound of birds singing outside your window, or the quiet contentment of reading a good book. Whatever it is, allow yourself to pause and fully immerse in that moment. Don't rush through it. Breathe it in, let it fill your heart, and notice how it makes you feel. You might be surprised at how much happiness is waiting for you in these everyday moments. When we learn to focus on the present, we realize that joy is not something we need to chase. It's already here, in the small, quiet spaces of our lives. Gratitude is the key that unlocks this awareness. When we stop looking outside ourselves for happiness and start appreciating the simple things we often overlook, life becomes richer, more peaceful, and filled with a deeper sense of contentment. Think of the moments that have brought you the most joy in the past week. Were they grand, life-changing events? Or were they the little things? A good conversation, a warm meal, a walk in the park? These are the moments that make life meaningful. They are the ones that sustain us, that bring a sense of calm and fulfillment to our everyday experience. Take joy in the small things, and let that joy anchor you in the present. It's there that you'll find the true richness of life, not in what you accumulate or achieve, but in how deeply you live and appreciate each moment. Key point 9. The art of gratitude. Imagine waking up at dawn, the first light of the sun filtering through your window, casting a soft glow across the room. You take a deep breath, feeling the cool air fill your lungs, and in that moment, before the day begins to pull you in a dozen directions, you pause. You let the simple fact of being alive sink in, the privilege of having another day to live, to experience, to love. This is the essence of gratitude, the ability to recognize the blessings that are often hidden in plain sight, waiting for us to notice. In a world that constantly pushes us to chase after what we don't have, gratitude calls us to shift our focus. Instead of dwelling on what's missing, we learn to see the abundance in what is already here. A roof over your head, food on the table, the warmth of a friend's smile, the beauty of a quiet morning. These are not small things. They are the very fabric of a rich and meaningful life. Yet without gratitude, they often go unnoticed, lost in the noise of daily demands and desires. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, reminds us of the profound power of gratitude when he said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." With these words, he invites us to wake up not just to the day ahead, but to the miracle of life itself. Every breath, every thought, every experience is a gift, And when we embrace this truth, we begin to see the world through a lens of appreciation rather than lack. Gratitude has the power to transform not only our perspective, but our entire experience of life. It turns what we have into enough and shifts our focus from what we wish we could change to what we can celebrate. When you cultivate gratitude, life becomes less about what's missing and more about what's present. The beauty of a sunset, the sound of laughter, the feeling of being loved. These are the true treasures of life, and gratitude helps us uncover them. But gratitude isn't just an abstract concept. It's a practice, a daily choice to open our eyes to the good that surrounds us, no matter how small. It's the act of pausing to reflect on the blessings we often take for granted, of saying thank you, not just to others, but to life itself. And the more we practice gratitude, the more we realize how much there is to be grateful for. Actionable tip: start a gratitude journal. Each day, take a few minutes to write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big or profound. Sometimes the simplest things hold the most meaning. Maybe it's the warmth of your morning coffee, a kind word from a colleague, or the peaceful quiet after a long day. Whatever it is, let yourself feel the gratitude fully as you write it down. Over time, this practice will begin to shift your perspective, helping you to notice the good in every day, no matter how small. As you continue this practice, you'll likely find that your heart becomes lighter, your outlook more positive. Gratitude has a way of softening the edges of life, reminding us that even in the midst of challenges, there's always something to be thankful for. It is through this lens of appreciation that we begin to cultivate true contentment, realizing that happiness is not something we need to chase. It's something we can find right where we are. Gratitude doesn't change the circumstances of our lives, but it changes the way we see them. It helps us shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance, from focusing on what we lack to celebrating what we have. And in doing so, it opens the door to deeper joy, peace, and fulfillment. Start small, but start today. Let gratitude guide you toward a richer, more meaningful life. As Marcus Aurelius teaches, the privilege of being alive, of breathing, of thinking, of loving. These are the true gifts. Let gratitude be your way of honoring them every day. Key point 10. Appreciate solitude. Imagine standing at the edge of a quiet lake at dusk. The water is still, mirroring the darkening sky, and there's a soft hush in the air. No voices, no distractions, just the gentle sound of your breath and the rhythm of your heartbeat. In this moment of solitude, you feel the weight of the world lift, as though the noise and demands of daily life have been left far behind. This is the gift of solitude, the chance to step away from the busyness of life and reconnect with yourself. In a society that glorifies constant connection and productivity, solitude is often misunderstood. Many fear being alone, mistaking it for loneliness or isolation. But in the philosophy of Stoicism, solitude is not something to avoid, it's something to embrace. It's in these quiet moments when we are free from the demands of others and the pressures of the outside world that we can reflect, recharge, and truly connect with our inner selves. Marcus Aurelius, in his timeless wisdom, reminds us, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." When we allow ourselves the space for solitude, we give our thoughts room to breathe. We can sift through the noise of the day, listen to our own inner voice, and cultivate a sense of clarity. In this stillness, we improve the quality of our thoughts, and by doing so, we improve the quality of our lives. Think of solitude as a deep, refreshing breath for the soul. Without the constant hum of conversations, notifications, and obligations, you're able to hear yourself more clearly. In solitude, you can ask the important questions. Am I living in alignment with my values? Are my actions serving my true goals? It's in these moments of self-reflection that we often find the inspiration and insight we've been searching for. But solitude is not just for reflection, it's for recharging. Just as our bodies need rest to function at their best, our minds need time away from the world to restore themselves. In solitude, we can release the stress and tension that accumulates in our daily lives, finding peace in the simple act of being alone with our thoughts. Far from being a lonely or isolating experience, solitude can feel like a homecoming, a return to your true self, away from the noise of the outside world. It's in solitude that we grow, gaining a deeper understanding of who we are and what we truly need. Actionable tip: set aside time each week to be alone. This doesn't have to be a grand retreat or a lengthy escape. It could be as simple as a quiet walk in nature, a few minutes of meditation, or an hour spent reading a favorite book. The key is to allow yourself the space to be with your own thoughts, without distractions. When you embrace solitude, you create a sacred space for personal growth. In that quiet, you'll find moments of inspiration, a sense of peace, and the clarity to navigate life's challenges with greater wisdom. Solitude, far from being a void, is a wellspring of creativity and self-discovery. It's where your mind can rest, reset, and return stronger. Remember that being alone doesn't mean being lonely. Loneliness is the absence of connection, while solitude is the presence of self. It's the time when you reconnect with your inner world, and in doing so, you strengthen your ability to navigate the outer world with grace and confidence. So, as you move through your week, carve out moments for solitude, even if they are brief. Allow yourself to enjoy the quiet, to listen to your heart, and to nurture your inner life. In solitude, you'll find not only peace, but the strength and clarity to face life with renewed energy and purpose. The key to peace and fulfillment in life isn't in forcing things to go your way, but in learning to let go, embrace the present, and accept life's natural flow. Stoicism teaches us to live in harmony with ourselves and the world around us by focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we can't. Take these lessons, apply them to your life, and see the transformation. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. Remember, joy and happiness are not destinations. They are found in each step you take as you embrace life's journey. See you in the next video.